All right, there we go. And we're live. Good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching this, time and place. We are at Redman Group episode number 52. It has officially been 1 year since we've been doing these weekly broadcasts. I want to thank everybody that's been watching us, new viewers, and the continued viewership. It's been a great platform. We've really had a good time. So welcome, my brothers. We've got on today's panel, on my screen, bottom left to right anyway, we've got Donovan Sharp of The Sharp Reality. What's up, Donovan? Donovan, you on? You got Mike there?
Yep, there we go. Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing? Good.
Good. We got John, Modern Life Dating, up next. How you doing, John?
What's going on? Doing really great. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
What's up, brother? We've got Ryan Stone of ryanstone.com. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, everybody. So far, so good. Just got a new video out there Thursday. Should be enjoyable for everybody.
Kick ass. And I did a video earlier this week that I mentioned you in, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on my
Dude, I saw that. That was bang on. It was amazing.
He had a great tweet that I definitely had to distill with some thoughts and feelings. Rollo Tomasi, the Rational Male. Welcome, brother. How are you?
Hey, good. Glad to be back from Florida. Of course, now it's raining and snowing outside. So
yeah, definitely.
Went from sunny Florida to here.
Yeah. So let's do the updates. Go ahead, Rollo, since you're...
Oh, me? Okay. Well, I guess yesterday I went on with Donovan. We had a really good talk. That was a lot. You know, it's funny. It's like we always start out with one topic and then we end up like doing like 4 or 5 because it's always this crossover. And it's like Donovan just like lets me ramble. So
well, it's always very seamless, right? We're not talking about, the red pill and then all of a sudden we're talking about purple potatoes. It's very seamless.
Yeah. So I did that yesterday. Just been working on the book again. I did Pat Campbell's show on Friday, which was, I would say, like, I think that's one of the better shows we've done in a while. It was interesting because we got to talk about egalitarian equalism, and I have a lot to say on that topic. Let's just say, and I even had his producer say, this is like the best thing you've. Of course, she agrees with me, right? But anything she agrees with is good. But anyways, hey, I'll take it. So that was a really good show. If you haven't seen those or listened to those, you can find those on the archives, and they're on my side on the sidebar of my blog. Let's see what else. We got a lot of interesting things coming up. If you haven't seen the video, I'm sure we'll probably talk about this later on. If you haven't seen the new promotional video with myself.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, myself and Rich and Anthony, and of course Elliot Hulse is now confirmed for the 21 Patriarchs Edition convention coming up in May. And I think that video, that was really cool. And then finally,
fucking awesome.
Finally, I have the State of the Manosphere address came out that I gave back in October at the 2018 version of the 21 convention. And I thought that came out really well too. I went and watched it on my big screen, and I was impressed with the video quality. We went from 1 camera to like 3 cameras, and so it really looks like a TED Talk right now. So, and it's finally coming. I really think I've said this before. I think that the 21 convention is finally coming into its own as far as being sort of like this red pill summit, but it's also the only platform that I know of that is comparable to, say, like a TED Talk. It's, there's no way TED or even TEDx is going to call me up and say, hey, Rollo, why don't you come and do, come on. That's never going to happen. But this, I think the 21 convention will eventually end up being sort of a TED Talk for people with dangerous ideas. So anyways, that's what I'm doing.
Ryan, what have you been up to, man, last week or so? Actually, it's been 2 weeks. We haven't seen you for at least 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. It was kind of a little bit jealous seeing you in Florida while we had that bitch-ass blizzard.
Dude, driving the Lamborghini, I was totally hating.
Yeah, I got stuck at the airport an extra day because the Pearson airport was shut down, right? So I had to go to a hotel and stay an extra night down there.
Oh, jeez, you poor bastard.
Did you take the Lambo?
No, it was only a rental for like a day. I mean, we just use it for the optics of the video.
God,
it came out really well.
Yes, it did.
Hey, when you got to flex, you got to flex, right?
Yeah.
So I was stuck out here in Hinterland. Made a couple videos. I'm adding a new series to my YouTube channel. I'm calling it Red Pilled Coffee, where I kind of discuss things. It's similar to Rich's thing with entrepreneurs and coffee, but I try to keep it a little more self-reflective, as well as I am so amazed at the reaction people have been getting from Rolo's State of the Manosphere talk he had just had there. So I've been keeping my ear to the ground, listening to all the various groups have their little inputs on it, and it's really neat. I'm very surprised people aren't just doing the standard blue pill thing of Rolo's a cock, or I don't like him, or I don't like that. They're actually engaging the content and having general reactions. And it's kind of been good at helping me hone my best way to drive the manosphere in a way that's positive for everybody. So that's awesome. Then a bunch of new clients keeping me busy as hell here. It's probably the most fulfilling part of this. And I know a lot of you other guys do coaching or consulting too. To watch a guy make such amazing gains in his progress, just to see, and all it takes is one guy to give a shit about a guy. That's amazing. And so it's really a fulfilling part here. So that's me, what I've got on the go now. And I'll pass it off. Who's next?
Let's give it to Pimp Juice there. We've got Nelly with the aviators and the furry Pimp Juice vest. What have you been up to, dude?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on again. Well, I started my own daily morning podcast show. It's on at 8 a.m. Eastern. I just threw it out there expecting 5 to 6 guys to watch it every day. And I got an audience of almost up to 45 people now every day tuning in.
Nice.
Cool.
And the name of the show is Interview with a Man. And it's either featuring the man that is me or I have a man on. And right now we've just been, the first 6 episodes was my origin story. So if you guys actually want to know who I am and what I've come from, just so you know, just don't think I'm just some guy on the internet. I literally lay it out very, very concretely from birth until where I am right now. You can see everything I went through and then what would give me validity as a coach. That's been blowing up way more than I've expected. And similar to what Ryan just said, I've been helping out guys, and like it's so rewarding to see guys who need help, you know, come forth, pay for coaching, listen, and then take my advice and change their life. So that's going really good. And then on the 28th of February, I'm launching my body language mastery course. And then that is already getting tons of feedback. It is limited access. It's going to be like there's a quarterly enrollment. So there's only quarter 1 for this time. So it's limited access. And then we're going to have weekly webinars. And I'm going to teach guys how to read body language on a professional level. It is like really like talking about red pills, whatever. Like this shit, you can't unsee it. So this is going to be really good. Yeah, everything's just going really good. And I'm really glad to just see guys taking the shit that I went through and how I learned from all of it and applying the lessons to their life and making better men out there. It really is so fulfilling. The guys in the chat can validate. Some of them are here watching right now.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of positive feedback. MLD helped me, I can attest. So it's good that you're having a positive impact on these dudes' lives. Donovan, what have you been up to, man?
Actually, I've been quite busy lately. I love the fact that Jonathan looks like 1976. I absolutely love that look. I still need to get the I gotta watch Ryan's video because I want to get Devin to make the Madeleines for me. Those look really, really good. Gonna have to be
Dude, they're awesome. You'll never go back.
They look good, especially when you're making them. I'm just drooling. Anyway, had a great week of shows. Had Steve the Dean on to talk about how to stay out of the friend zone. That was good. Had Kevin Samuels on to talk about not image consulting, but why so many men are living at home. Millennials make a lot of excuses. Well, it's too expensive to live on my own and I have student debt. It's all bullshit. That's just an excuse for you not to do what's comfortable, what's easy. Had Rolo on yesterday to talk about the soulmate myth. Was a great, great show. On Monday, I did a show called 21 Signs Your Homeboy is Trying to Fuck Your Girl. You definitely want to check that out. Then I had a couple of bonus videos. The first one was sort of an old school video regarding The Bachelor. Ari Lyondike he actually proposed to one girl, then used his red pill goggles, his red pill lens to choose the girl that he should have in the first place. You guys definitely want to check that out. And finally, I released the about 7.5 minute clip of me hanging up on a certain female way back in episode 17. She shall remain nameless. I think we all know who she is. You guys definitely want to check that out. So good week of shows here on TSR Live. Gonna have a really good week of shows next week. And right around the end of next week, my book should be done. In about maybe 5 or 6 days after that, it will be available to the public. So a lot of good things going on.
I know.
Awesome. And, for myself, just been obviously busy the last week. If you guys were watching the Red Man Group channel and my social feed, you know, I was in Florida. We were doing all that work. Roller just kind of topped up on it. The fishing trip was awesome. I never thought that I'd really enjoy like fishing to that degree, because when I was a kid growing up, I did a lot of like lake fishing and rivers fishing, and all you do is pull these shitty little, pound rock bass out of the water, and it's pretty fucking boring. They don't put up much of a fight. But what was that fish again, Rolo? It was a redfish.
It's
or
a
something?
big ass redfish, man. That was like, it was definitely over slot because we had to put it back. But man, that was, if you haven't seen the pictures of it, I think I put them on Twitter. I'll throw them up there again.
Yeah, you put it on Twitter, but that thing put up a fight for a good, I don't know, like it seemed like 5 minutes. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. So I'm looking forward to getting together again.
That's fishing on a different level, man.
Oh,
that's like big game. It's like going hunting, really, is what it is. I mean, you're bringing
like I really enjoyed the
as
fight.
as
Like
you.
I enjoyed the competition between me and the animal, and I want to do something bigger. I want to do like a sailfish or a shark or a tuna or a mahi-mahi.
You need to, like, when we picked up those Goliath groupers that one time, those were at least a half an hour to bring those things up. I mean, and it's like bringing up a small car. But you want a good fight is when we go out on that trip, actually a shark trip, we're looking for tiger sharks, and tiger sharks, you want to fight, that'll be a fight for you.
Nice. All right, cool. So that'll probably be on the agenda for one of the get-togethers we do in Florida in the future. We'll definitely tack it on to one of the events. What else has been going on? Just busy as fuck. I came back here. It's really cold in Toronto. I mean, Florida wasn't hot. I mean, I packed shorts and t-shirts and I didn't even wear them. But here it's like, it's been minus 25 for the last week.
Oh my God. I'm over here bitching and complaining about 10-degree weather. You're fucking minus 25.
It's fucking cold. So I'm looking forward to spring, getting the R8 back out on the road and having some fun and getting together with the car guys that I hang out with in the summertime. So back to the regular content creation. I got for those of you that have made requests for either coaching or for sponsored videos, I've got a backlog of them. So bear with me. It might take me a week to get them all out, but I will get them out soon. But today's topic, we're talking about hypergamy, peak hypergamy, the brutal truths about it. This is going to be kind of an in-depth show on that notion, and I'll kick it off with this conversation that kind of sparked the notion earlier this week. Hypergamy, when you kind of like mill on it long enough and you start to realize what it really truly is and how deeply ingrained it is in the female psyche and the sexual marketplace. Women have the expectation in an LTR that you're monogamous and you're exclusive to them. I mean, we know that they want a man that other women want to be with and other men want to be, but they don't want you to exercise that option. But at the same time, there's married men out there, LTR men, there's men living with women. And if their girl has a social media presence and they're not selling a product, I've said this for a number of months now, if they have like a chick and she has a social media presence, she's not using it to sell a product or service, and she's posting on a regular basis, she probably doesn't even know this, but she is the product or service. She's marketing herself publicly, scanning the horizon to try to optimize her hypergamy. She is probably unaware. Maybe she's aware. I don't know. But the observation that was made was they want you to be exclusive to them, but they want to exercise their option to open hypergamy so that they can market themselves on these platforms, because it's like George Bruno says, like, these women have a box of dicks. Like, these guys are constantly showering them with attention. We know there's tons of thirsty betas out there that will, hey girl, you look good. I mean, there's even an Instagram account that spun off one post that I made. The guy DM'd me and he said, can you promote it, sort of thing. And I shared one of his posts, and he created this Instagram account called Thirsty Beta. And all he does is he posts posts of the comments and the pictures of these thirsty betas. So they're constantly at these women seeking their attention. And lo and behold, I mean, if these women are out there doing their thing, seeking validation and attention, and some guy slides into their DMs, or there's a contact made where he's it's Steve from accounting. He's a higher value male than what you are. And even if you're married, if you're in an LTR, that radar blip all of a sudden becomes a big blob on her radar screen, and something can be triggered from that. So that's the concept that, came out of that conversation. I don't know who wants to comment on this first. Rolo, you're kind of like the guy that owns the word hypergamy. So I'll throw it off to you if you want to go.
I've done probably more work about hypergamy than any other topic in the manosphere. I think I've probably done, I've certainly written about it more. And I think that a lot of misconceptions get attached to hypergamy as we have broadened the definition of it. I actually threw this out in my State of the Manosphere address, is that I think that the definition of hypergamy used to be the sociological version, right? It was just like a woman's propensity to marry up in a socioeconomic fashion. Like it was actually a terminology, not from psychology, but from sociology. And so that was it for a very long time. And I think that with the rise of the red pill and the rise of the manosphere and the rise of everything that we talk about, it's been my goal to sort of broaden the definition of that. And so in addition to that, I've added in a woman's desire to want to breed up as well. Okay, I think that's probably the most simplest way to put that, because when we talk about hypergamy, we talk about alpha fucks and beta bucks. Okay, it's a dualistic mating strategy for women. They want the best that they can find when it comes to biological breeding opportunities, short-term sexual opportunities, and long-term security opportunities. And so there's two sides of this, and where I think that for a very long time, guys like, say, Jordan Peterson, for example, only focus on one side. They only focus on the beta buck side. They think that that's the only important part, because that's the only side of hypergamy that agrees with their own sexual strategy.
Right.
These are the guys that they like. Donovan and I were talking about this yesterday. As men subscribe to the male imperative is unlimited access to unlimited sexuality. Okay. Now, can every man get that? No. 80% of at least 80% of guys are deemed, unattractive by women. So we're looking at the low SMV side of the scale, is right, like that 80% of guys that aren't getting any, right? Or they're getting only a little bit from one woman, because that's their sexual strategy. Their sexual strategy for the majority of guys is one guy with one woman. It's the same enforced monogamy thing that Peterson was talking about. Although it's not like, it's not like arranged marriages or anything like that. It is a socially enforced monogamy, meaning that it is normal for one man to get with one woman. And the reason for that is because that benefits the most men to reproduce. And so what happens is guys see that, and then they see that hypergamy is alpha fucks and beta bucks, but they want to pretend like the alpha fuck side doesn't exist, and that it's only about their provisioning capacity. It's only about that one side. So if you got your shit together, and if you're a good dude, and you take care of your mom, and you're a good parent, and you would make a good dad, and you have a good job, and you're a good prospect for long-term security, they believe that that's all hypergamy is about. But it's not. It's also about the alpha fuck side, and that's the side that they want to ignore, because it doesn't lock in with their own sexual strategy, which is stick it out, invest everything in one woman, and hope for the best, hope that she's going to stay with you, and that she means what she says when it comes to, romantic love and all this stuff. But they don't want to accept that there is another side of hypergamy, which is the alpha fuck side. Now, what I think happens, and this is one of the misconceptions I wanted to address here, is that when guys start studying hypergamy, they think that it is a death sentence. They think that it is a straitjacket, and they think that if they don't do what's called looks maxing, if they don't look a certain way, or if they don't have bulletproof game, that their woman is going to be constantly on the lookout for a better dude. Now, that is true, but you have to understand the mechanics behind that. And so what they do is they take that and they sort of run with it, and they think that they use that as this reason for them to give up. Right? They just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm never going to be as good looking as Chad over here. So fuck it. I'm going to go MGTOW. Fuck it. I'm going to just, give up on the whole sexual marketplace, because a woman is always, what woman is going to stick with me? Right? That kind of mentality. And so what I want to say is that, and this is from the biological side of things. if you read anything about ovulatory shift, if you read anything like from Dr. Marty Hasselton, who I quote quite a bit when it comes to my definition of hypergamy, when women are in a relationship that they deem or that they see as satisfying, when a woman is in her ovulatory phase where she is, or I should say her pre-ovulatory phase, where she is more interested in sex, she's more interested in masculine qualities, where she's looking for the alpha fucks side of things. If she's in a relationship that is, quote unquote satisfying, she is more apt to want to have sex with the guy that she's with.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
She wants, if that's her husband, she wants to have sex with her husband more because he's the guy that she wants to get with. Right. He is the best that she can do. And so she focuses on him and she wants to have sex with him. If that woman is in an unsatisfying relationship, then she looks outside of that relationship. So it's not this straitjacket. Guys think that hypergamy is like going to set the tone for their lives and when it comes to their romantic lives. And I will tell you this, and I've written extensively on this, that hypergamy is not a straitjacket. There's ways around that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But I just wanted to set out here from the beginning that hypergamy is not just about one side. It's not just about the beta bucks security provisioning side of things. It's also the alpha fucks. And you have to accept both sides of that, but don't get too carried away with either side of that. Am I making myself clear there?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, let me just add to the original discussion before we pass it on to the other guys in the panel. So this guy's dealing with a LTR situation where his chick's constantly at him about who's this, whose hair is that, blah, 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 right? Like she's always on his ass about what he's got going on and he's up to nothing, right? He's a dude. But, the flip side of the coin is you got these these women that are just out there on social media seeking the validation and attention. And while they're demanding the male abandon his sexual strategy, which is unlimited access to unlimited women, we know that her sexual strategy is open hypergamy. And the dichotomy of the two is she's able to have the radar on, scanning the horizon for potential better suitors by posting, seeking attention and validation, while he's expected to keep his dick in his pants and not do anything. That was an interesting component that I had like this realization, like, wow, I never really looked at it that way. I know that you guys wanted to chime in. I think Ryan and Donovan wanted to go next. I'll let you guys suss it out between who goes.
Yeah, well, I'll go first. I want to point out sort of the other side of hypergamy. Hypergamy is one of these concepts that a lot of men tend to misunderstand at times because there's so many convoluted, really, definitions out there. But the long and the short of what hypergamy is to me, and I think I'm pretty correct when I say this, is that a woman will consolidate on the highest value men available to her. And by consolidate, I mean go all in on a relationship of consequence, meaning long term. Now, hypergamy does have short term ramifications. If she's in her ovulatory phase, she's gonna be more apt to fuck Kevin and Sales if she's got a beta male living at home. That being said, a lot of guys like to say, yeah, but high value. By high value, you mean the best looking, richest guys with the biggest dicks. And that is true. But the guys who are an A+ in looks, an A+ in money, social proof, pre-selection, physique, A+ in game, those guys are few and far between. As a matter of fact, those guys are about as common as a 20-year-old 10 who's a virgin, loves to cook, has no interest in riding the cock carousel, and can't wait to start a family. A lot of guys also like to blame hypergamy for their shortcomings with women. They'll say, she cheated on me because of hypergamy, and they're right. She did cheat because of hypergamy. But when when the men who get cheated on characterize hypergamy in this way, what they're doing is they're divorcing themselves from personal responsibility.
Right.
The way they actually say it in their tone of voice, she cheated on me because of hypergamy, is done so in such a way that leads themselves and others around them to believe that hypergamy is something that is outside of their control, as if to say that the hypergamy bug just randomly bit his girlfriend or wife one night and all of a sudden she had the urge to cheat. And that's just not true. When a woman cheats on you, hypergamy is a factor. There's no doubt about that. We can all agree on that. But as a man with red pill awareness, you've got to be honest with yourself and acknowledge the fact that your value slipped. you know you got a little fatter, you know you got a little lazier, a little more comfortable, a little less driven, less disciplined, and in most cases, a lot more tolerant of her bad behavior. But Donovan, she cheated on me with Kevin in sales. He's 6'4", he looks like an underwear model and drives an Audi R8 because some douchebag named Richard Cooper does, and he makes $250,000 a year. At which point I would ask you, then why in the hell would you date or marry a woman who is around men like this on a daily basis in the first place? You're the one who didn't have a problem with her going on that weekend team retreat when Kevin was going to be there. You're the one who allowed her to go to happy hour with the entire department, including Kevin in sales, without you. You're the one who did not quiz her on why she never answered her phone at night when her division went to a conference in Vegas. You have only yourself to blame for that. Not only that, guys like Kevin in sales, again, are very, very rare. So chances are whoever your woman cheated on you with was not a guy like him. 9 times out of 10, your woman cheats with a guy who's in a little better shape than you are, a little less lazy, more driven, more disciplined, and does not tolerate bad female behavior. And to end things here, guys want to act like all women cheat with these super high value guys and they scream hypergamy, but that is being disingenuous, because the hard truth is that the guy she cheated with has higher value than you, but not so much that it couldn't be avoided in the first place by maintaining and increasing your value and agency as a man. So yeah, I'm saying that we as men, we can control hypergamy. Yes, hypergamy is on autopilot in a woman's brain, as it should be. And listen, we don't want the best women reproducing with the lowest value males out there. Otherwise, we're going to breed the best traits out of existence. But as a man, don't blame hypergamy when your woman sucks another man's dick because you foolishly believe that she loved you for you. That's not how it goes, and you know it. So at the end of the day, it's not hypergamy's fault. That's on you.
Ryan?
Yeah, so I'm going to jump back to something that everybody red pill should already know about. If you've been on the subreddit for any length of time, it's on the sidebar. It's a book called Sexual Utopia and Power.
Oh, that's
oh yeah, as much as guys here talk about this is because of feminism, this is because of the pill. Well, this shows a Greek play that was written in like 300 BC, that the women had a play called The Assembly. I can't pronounce the guy's name, so I won't go into it. But they essentially take over the assembly, lock all of their husbands out, and they make a new law saying that the most attractive men in Athens have to sleep with all the women in Athens, starting with the least attractive woman. That is sexual utopia and power, and that is pure unbridled hypergamy.
Right.
Now, obviously, it's an exaggerated form, the same way as for a guy, your ultimate ideal strategy is James Bond. Girls can't help but be with you. You're not attached to anyone. One other thing. Sorry, I'm going to be jumping all over the place here because I got like 8 quick points. I'm trying to get them out as quick as possible here.
Take your time.
There is no male version of hypergamy, so you got to realize that. Men are
Hypogamy.
competitive. No,
Yeah.
women
No.
Doesn't
women are
exist.
cooperative, men are competitive. So we don't have a unifying strategy. Our unifying strategy is to beat that guy in this contest to get more women. So we're never going to have a unified front on that. And as far as these guys who say you need to control hypergamy, I think Donovan and Rich have nailed it head on. The issue is they're using something outside of their control to blame for their own failures.
Mhm.
It's of course that, and there is no single type of high value for a guy. It all depends what a woman wants out of life. If she wants fun, the guy who has cocaine at the bar is going to be way more attractive to her than the jackedest jack ever with the greatest job. If she wants a baby, she essentially wants whatever dick happens to be available and hates condoms. If she wants security, if she wants a long-term relationship, she's going to get the guy with the job who's kind of boring and is the polar opposite of that guy that used to treat her like garbage that she was attracted to in her 20s.
Right.
So for all
it's
these
an
guys,
interesting-
and everybody's talking about, well, I can control it. You can't control it. And society has kind of gotten rid of a lot of the barriers to her expressing it. Like women 200 years ago, they didn't act on it because they would be starving in the street because bears would be eating them because they need a man to protect them with a bayonet or whatever he had. We don't have that anymore. So a lot of the times it's going to be stuff that you can't handle. And then as far as Donovan's point, it's a slight disagreement where he thinks that, and I get it. A lot of guys, they do slack, they get fatter, they get unattractive, and that is a cause of it. But at the same time, sometimes a guy nails everything. Like one of my clients has the perfect life. Like to hear him talk about it. He's got the house, he's got the car, he's got the perfect family, the pinnacle of their careers. And guess what? She just got bored and upended the entire fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't out alpha your way out of somebody getting bored and deciding to change life up.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's a good point.
I strongly suggest manufactured outrage. It's a strategy I've talked about forever, where you essentially pick fights just to get those emotional highs and lows. It's like methadone for the heroin that is hypergamy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow.
But isn't that exhausting? There's some guys that would argue that that's a waste of your energy. Like, why would you have to jump?
Yeah,
through
everything's a
so many
waste of
hoops?
energy. Fuck, harden the fuck up. Like, if you can't be a little bit argumentative, like, what the fuck's the point of life if you're just gonna sit there all like a placebo effect? I don't
Yeah,
want
listen,
to
life
Xanax with a
needs
dick.
listen, life needs conflict. Why do we go to the movies? Why do we watch wrestling? Why do we watch boxing, MMA? Why do we watch TV shows? They're only interesting because of conflict. There has to be some sort of conflict.
Yeah, why did I cry during Infinity War when he snapped his fingers? Like, we fucking need a little bit of emotion in our life here.
Yeah.
We need Thanos.
That's
And
well,
here's
you
the
know,
thing.
John.
I've written. Oh, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to pass it off to John because we haven't heard
Yeah,
from him
please.
yet.
Yeah, so just just touching on hypergamy in general. Again, I'm not like one of these textbook alphas on the internet. I get everything from like the real life experience, and just you know, I've slept with a lot of girls that had boyfriends and husbands and that I didn't even know about, that they kept it so
They always
like,
keep it from you,
secretive
dude.
for me. One of the biggest shocks was when I was living in Osaka at the time, and I went to this nightclub, and this really beautiful Japanese girl, like stunner, like an 8, solid 8, saw me in the club, and she's just like, "Look, I love you." I was like, "What?" That's the first thing she said to me. She's like, "I love you," and so I was like, I love you too." And so,
That won't
Oh,
backfire.
that's great.
and so,
And now you're
so-
married, right? Like she's in the background somewhere, like nursing your kids.
so we're in the club. She's having a grand old time, and we kind of cross paths again. And she's like, sees me again. She's like, "I love you." I was like, "I love you too." And I took her by the hand. I was like, "Come on, let's go." And I just cavemaned her back home. And so we were riding in the taxi, and we get to my place, and we start going at it. Whatever. We're getting ready for round 2, and then her phone starts ringing, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
"Who's that?" She's like, "Oh, it's my boyfriend." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Bitch, what are you doing?" And she was just like, "Shh, okay." And then she picked up the phone, and she was like, "No, I'm sorry. I'm with a friend. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm coming now. I'm coming now. I'm coming now." And we knocked out round 2, and then she went off back to her boyfriend. And that's why like guys like who are like ultra players, like when they do settle down in LTRs, you've seen like such the extreme side of hypergamy. Like you can even have like a really innocent, pure girlfriend, like a good girl, and you can just be like, "Bitch, are you cheating on me? Who's the fuck texting you?" Like you become like, because you've seen so much. You're like a guy with PTSD. Like you come back, like you hear like a fucking balloon pop, and you have like a flashback. You're like,
John, did you ever see
Girl's
that
text
study
goes
that
off.
guys had where they go cunnilingus on a girl because they want a taste for other men?
Oh,
Well,
that's
that-
that's kind of
that's-
gross, dude. That's
yeah, I know
sick.
it.
I don't
I
fuck
have-
with that gay
You know
shit. I don't know.
that you know that
Don't do
raises an
that.
interesting question, John, since you kind
Uh-oh.
of described that scenario of this Japanese girl that had the boyfriend and the phone's ringing. So, if these women expect men to abandon their sexual strategy to unlimited women, unlimited access to unlimited women, women are never expected to abandon their sexual strategy to open hypergamy. Like even if they're not cheating on their guy, they're always scanning the horizon anyway. So.
Right.
And they're always justified in doing so because they have
Always
they have
justified in doing
they have
them because of
social
sisterhood.
network, because the sisterhood is their social network that reinforces that all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
100%. So that's an interesting discussion point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's what I tell the guys. Look, I did a show on my new channel or on my YouTube, the new radio show, whatever, top 10 things a man could do improve his life. And I said, number one, I said, listen, do the number one thing, spoiler alert, do everything in your life that is for you. And Rollo talks about this all the time in his concept, which is be your mental point of origin. I just
Right.
tell the guys, every single thing that you do in your life, do for you. Okay. You're not Jesus Christ. Okay. You're not self-sacrificing to save the world. Okay. You got to
What?
take care of yourself and yourself only. If you're going to take a job, you got to vehemently like look at that job and be like, what exactly is this going to provide for me? How can they fuck me? How is this going to benefit me? Look at a girl. How is she going to provide benefits to me? Is she going to be a cheater? Is she going to be a pain in the ass? Is she a lazy bum? Does she not do the dishes? Is her house a fucking mess? Like heavily scrutinize every aspect of your life and know that you need to protect yourself, like first and foremost. Same thing with hypergamy. Look, I tell guys this, bottom line, you've got to like mentally imagine every time your girl's not with you, she's just sucking an army
She's
of
fucking
dicks.
sick. Yep, that's all right.
You just gotta let go because it is such a waste of time to be worrying if she's cheating all the time. You could track her with GPS, you could do all these things, but at the end of the day, I've seen the sneakiest of sneaky women. They'll still get around. They'll
find a way.
They'll find a way.
Yep.
So it's a waste of your energy as a man. Channel that energy into a second business. Channel that energy into fucking deadlifting 500 pounds. Use everything to make yourself better. And things that you can't control, just like Richard says it all the time. Allocate your fucks. You have a limited amount of fucks. You have a limited amount of willpower every day. Allocate that shit like heavily so it can only benefit you.
There's a super chat there from Chris Von Eric. Thanks, brother. He says, Hypergamy doesn't care, but I do. Keep up the good work. Good message, guys. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Love the support.
What I was going to say is there are aspects of the male psyche that understand when a woman when a woman displays behavioral cues, it triggers parts of the male psyche for mate guarding. Okay. I've talked about mate guarding in the past in relation to hypergamy, and I think that a lot of guys who know that they're in a weak position tend to be guys who want to mate guard that much more. They want to tighten their grip on their woman, right? They go, oh, she wants to go to a girls' night out. Well, rather than like saying, no, bitch, you ain't going on no girls' night out. Rather than do that, you have to ask yourself, why does she want to go on a girls' night out? Why is she doing this? Because just like what we were talking about here before, I was just saying again, is like if your woman is, if she's on Instagram, if she's on Snapchat, if she's doing all this shit, she is advertising. I talked about this in the body language essay that I wrote as well. If you look at pictures of guys and when like couples pictures, and you look at the body language, and you look where that woman is like kind of looking off in the distance at looking at anybody except for the guy that she's supposed to be in love with and wants to be with for the rest of her life, right? That is her subconscious advertising for a better dude. Okay. It is her saying, you know what, I'm with this guy. And the guy's usually like, kissing on her or something like that. And she's looking out at you like she wants to fuck you instead of the guy that she's with, she's supposed to be with. Right. When you see those things, your subconscious picks up on that, and it triggers your mate guarding. And what happens is, and people give me shit for this, and maybe this is something we can talk about because I know this is controversial, but I've always been of the opinion that guys who have a very strong mate guarding sense tend to be more dedicated to the one man, one woman, the monogamy, enforced monogamy, right? Because they don't want to lose their investment in that one girl. And so consequently, guys who tend to be more beta and have more invested in one woman tend to be the guys who are the worst mate guarders. They're the guys who get really possessive. They're the guys who just, they're the guys that like drape.
And that's
their
incredibly
arms
unattractive to women too, though.
Yeah,
I
it is. Yeah, that. Because an alpha wouldn't do that. An alpha would just say, you know what, if you're going to go off and do that, fuck it. I got 10 other bitches over here that I'm going to go
Straight
get
up.
with because, right. And women's, subconscious picks up on that. They know that only an alpha would not care what I did because he's got three other girls. It's also one of the reasons why I say that you have to demonstrate your boundaries. You can't explicate your boundaries. So if a woman goes off and she does, she goes off on a GNO and she says, bye, I'm going off with my girlfriends to Vegas. You're not there when she comes back. Okay.
Yeah,
because
you're going out doing
you are
your own
demonstrating your boundaries. You're like, okay, fine. You went off. Fuck it. I'm out. You just basically, the medium is the message. And your message was that you didn't give a shit, or your focus, your first priority is not me. So I'm out. I'm going to go. I've got 10 other girls right here and I have other options. That's the thing is women, like I've always said this, women want a guy that other men want to be and other women want to fuck. Okay. That last part is the important part here. Other women want to fuck. You have to have those options. And from those options, you have confidence. And so women don't want a guy to cheat, but they love a guy who could cheat. And that's the guy that she's looking at in the pictures and she's admiring and she's looking up to. And she's like, I can't believe I got with this guy. It's this constant state of like, for lack of a better term, appreciation. She's saying, I can't believe, like her hypergamy says, I'm finally with the guy who's at least one step above me in sexual market value, right? That all of those cues come out in different ways, like just the way she talks, her behavior around you, what she'll change in her life for you. Like a lot of these guys will say, if you're going to be with me, I want to see your cell phone. Let me look at your cell phone, right? Like that's the litmus test for a long-term relationship for these guys. The girl that's into you, you don't have to ask. She's already here it is, you know. Or I just changed my status on Facebook, and I basically deleted all my orbiters, right? She's got to want to do that. It's not, I don't want to have to ask her to do that. I want to be the guy that she is so incentivized by that she will do that herself. And so that right there is where that peak hypergamy comes in. That's where it's like, you have to be that guy that you're the best option that she can get with. And here's the other thing, guys who check out, guys who want to say, well, you know, fuck it, I'm never going to be that dude. They think that hypergamy is a straitjacket and that she's never going to be, these bitches ain't loyal, right? They're never going to be, but you got to understand, not every woman has a capacity to do that. Women have in the past, prior to the sexual revolution, through religion or through society or through whatever kind of social stigmas and stuff like that, women have been able to police their own hypergamous, the worst of their own hypergamous natures. Okay, religion used to do that. It used to be a buffer against that. All those buffers are gone now. We've said, okay, here, ladies, police your own hypergamy. And
well, you give a woman a smartphone with apps on it, like social media, and they have unlimited access to unlimited dicks. I mean,
listen, all smartphones is a dick transponder. That's all it is. And they're getting hit in the face with dicks. Oh shit! Here we go. I gotta
go ahead and read those super chats.
Yeah. Let me just get to the super chats, and then I'm going to pass it off to Ryan. He wants to chime in. Dwight Brown, thanks for the $20. Awesome. Let me come back up here. We got $10 from Sire Bummeth. Never worry about things you can't control, only worry about things you can, and that's your wallet. And we got another one from Bo, 20 euro. Thanks. Awesome. Jonathan plus all. If you had a LTR in Asia, would you marry her and bring her over to the US?
No.
What are the alternatives? Also, Asians are known to be hard workers. 2 earners is a necessary for founding a family. Could this work out? Jonathan.
You got it, John.
Okay. So if you do bring her back to the States, it depends on how strong your game is. But no matter what, if you're bringing her back to the United States, she will become a little bit more manly. Okay, women and people in general. Okay, Japan is an ultra polite society. I have become ultra polite over here in my day-to-day life. I say thank you probably 100 times a day. All right, it just rubs off on you. And just the way like alphas one up each other in Japan is like you out polite the guy. It's pretty funny.
Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, it can get pretty ridiculous. But in regards to that guy, if you do bring her over, you can, but you have to realize I would definitely not bring her to like a liberal area. Like look at the electoral maps, and if it goes blue,
yes, Orange County, Nassau County, Cook County.
Don't bring her to a
Miami-Dade County.
Yeah. Ryan, you wanted to hop in?
Bring her to Maricopa County.
Yeah. I'm surprised guys actually get mad about that, just with the whole stuff that Rolo was talking about. I mean, do you really want to sleep with a woman who nobody else wants to sleep with? So it seems kind of unreasonable to expect like that from a female perspective not to be an ideal thing for you. Of course a girl is going to want you if other girls want you. That's the whole point. And if you're getting mad about that, it's because you know that you're her second choice and it bugs you, but not enough to do something about it. So it puts you in that weird butter zone where you end up just being miserable and angry. And that's a big anger phase problem. Second thing on this, women are a trailing indicator. As much like you are the prize, they're the lagging indicator. So for example, I think Rolo had it in your post, the medium is the message. Mm-hmm. If a girl's not crawling through broken glass for you, as whatever that means, and like how Rich says, if she's willingly stopped thoughting on Instagram for you, if she put away her coke habit or whatever thoughtery she had, if she just stops it instantly once she's dating you, then that's the trailing indicator saying that you've got your shit together. You're a high value man for whatever it is she's looking for. Or in the case of the party guy, you have more coke, so she stops going to her old dealer, whatever. But it's a good thing. Like all these things are not bad things. These are the nature's way of letting you know if you've got your shit together and you're a high value man. So I can see the only reason people getting mad about it is because they won't compete or they can't compete.
Real quick before we do the halftime thing, with regards to the other question, hey, should you bring her over here? I dated a girl. I thought I was dating a girl in Vegas. Dude, beautiful girl, long blonde hair, light blue eyes. She's from Ukraine. Her name was Tatiana, right? Long story short, it turned out that she had a boyfriend and I was the side dude. Okay. This girl might have been 27, 28 years old. She had been in the States for 5 years. So she grew up her entire life in Ukraine, then moved to Vegas. And in 5 years, just that quick, just that quick, she started acting like the typical Western American women. I thought, and again, this was post red pill awareness, maybe 3 or 4 years in. I said, oh my God, my ship has finally come in. Even then, only because she was Eastern European. She had the cute, hot accent. She couldn't get enough of me, blah, 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 blah. I feel safe with you, Donovan, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? She had a boyfriend the entire time. I had no idea. So the answer to your question, should I bring a girl from another country here? Fuck no. Not unless you want to turn her into a hoe.
If you want to, like if you like Asian girls, just go to Asia. I mean, do what Jonathan did, right? I mean, go there. You don't bring them back to a feminist shithole.
I gotta read these stats to you real quick here.
Yeah. Before you do though, let me just say thank you to He Wang for the $20 super chat. He says, thanks, Rich and Rollo, for unplugging me. You're welcome, brother. Happy to be useful to you. Go ahead, Rollo.
Okay, this goes on to the topic of the Plan B guy. Okay, this was a study. I have a you can, if you want the information here, I have a essay called Plan B. Okay, this is 43% and this is from the poll. 43% of women have a backup man if their current relationship ends. 43%. Okay. 8 out of 10 of them,
and that's of women that have admitted to having the backup plan.
Right,
yeah.
Like, this is a survey, so this is women volunteering the information.
Yeah, exactly.
And
women want this. I know they love this. The confession is good for the soul, right? So 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 are in contact with that backup man. So 80% of them are in contact with the backup guy, not just like the alpha widow pining for the one that got away, right? So they're actually in contact with this guy. And I would say that's probably because of, technology and everything else. And of course, it's a cell phone thing. 15% said their feelings were stronger for the backup man. So let that sink in for a minute. 50%, half of them said their partner was aware of the backup man.
Oh, Jesus fucking
okay.
Christ, dude.
And when this is interesting because I've been answering all these questions for was it Jeff Miller? Because he's been asked. He's the guy that's the evolutionary psychologist guy that I think Jack Murphy was interviewing, and he's been doing this kind of survey on like the positives and the negatives of polyandry. Sometimes you're in a polyandrous relationship and you don't even know that you are. 50% said that their partner was aware of the backup man. 1 out of 5 admitted the backup man was a friend of their partner.
Oh my God.
So 20% right there. 1 out of 5. Okay. And then finally 1 out of 10 said the backup man had already confessed their undying love to her. So 10%.
Which what's interesting? Also,
I would double all those stats because those are women volunteering information.
Yeah, and women never volunteer anything, right?
Slut shaming is a real thing. If they're volunteering information that make them look like sluts, you can double those stats. I guarantee it.
Right.
And then also, just talking about the guys confessing their love, they have that in Japan as well. And like the Chads don't do it, but it's like some girls were like, you need to confess your love. And I forget what it's called. What is it called? Was it love confession? What's it called? Love confession? Love confession. Oh, never mind. All right.
She had to take his dick out of her mouth. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Get back to work. That was funny.
Whatever. The point I'm trying to say is they have a system for betas out here as well. Okay. Kokuhaku. That's what it's called. The Kokuhaku.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to switch to calls soon, or do you want to touch on anything else?
Yeah. Did you need to do top of the hour business?
Yeah, top of the hour stuff.
Yes.
But kind of before we switch to calls, Donovan, why don't you throw the number in there so people can hop in the queue?
Yes, sir.
Before I do that break. Lines will be open.
914-205-5356. And I'm going to put it in the chat as well.
There's actually, there's a part here that I wanted to also touch on when it comes to misconceptions about hypergamy.
Yeah, hit on it.
Let's do that. Oh, you want to do it now? Okay.
Go ahead, hit on it.
One of the things, and we just kind of we kind of laugh at this, but I think that one of the biggest misconceptions about hypergamy is that both men and women are hypergamous.
Yes.
Everybody wants. Yeah. And the reason for that, and Donovan and I kind of talked about this a little bit. Or I should say Pat Campbell and I talked about this a little bit on Friday, is that is evidence of a blank slate equalist mentality. That what's good for the goose is what's good for the gander. But as we know, and you can say it with me, men and women are what?
Different.
Right.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? You're fired. You're fired. Well, the thing is women have a different sexual strategy than men. I think that's pretty much a red pill truth. Everybody understands that, but we still want, and this is usually it's women that throw this out there at me. If I start talking about like some of the less flattering things about hypergamy, women will say, well, men do that too. They're interested in just, you know, in the best that they can get. And it's like, no, men
Youth
are
and
interested.
beauty.
Yeah, youth and beauty is what it's all
Chicks
about.
don't understand hypergamy. They think they do. They fucking bang on about it, but they just don't get it.
They think that men share that same, and this is kind of interesting because they honestly believe that men and women are so similar that we would share similar sexual strategies. We don't. Again, what I was talking about before, the male imperative is unlimited access to unlimited sexuality. And if you don't believe me, go look at any porn site right now and see how popular those porn sites are. There's a reason we have free and ubiquitous online porn right now, because that is the male sexual imperative.
Yeah.
Yes, to be a porn star.
It's not hard. It's not hard to figure that shit out. But here's the main difference. Okay, one of the differences is this: women are interested in the quality, men are interested in the quantity, and it's not that men aren't interested in the quality. They want to have we would love to have a great lay, right? We would love to have the quality, right? But if we can't get that, we're all right. Nobody's ugly after 2 a.m. We don't have attraction floors. Women have attraction floors.
There you go.
Women
Well,
will.
some men have attraction floors, right?
Well,
Rich does.
But I think it was Tom Likas is the one that said this. Is that he said that for guys, sex is like taking a piss. Okay, at some point you're going to have to take a piss. Okay, we would love to take a piss in a nice 4-star hotel or some beautiful casino or something with the gold faucets and everything else. But you know what? If you got to go, you're going to pull over to the side of the road and you're going to take a piss in that greasy, dirty gas station along the side of the road. Okay, because but men don't have attraction floors, because for men it is reproduce with as many women as possible. Women is reproduce with the best guy possible, and that's why there is no such thing as hypergamy or hypogamy for men.
Listen, real quick, and the reason for that is the reason why men are not as selective as females as far as their sexual partners are concerned is because women have more at stake when it comes to sex. If they get pregnant, that's 2 years off of their body. You got to have the kid, get the kid back. With us, we bust the nut, we move on. That's it. Much more at stake.
Every aspect of the male reproductive process is to hit it, quit it, and get the fuck out as fast as possible.
Ejaculate and evacuate, baby.
That's right.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, guys, if you see when we see a woman who is sexually primed and ready for reproduction, we instantly get a hard on. Okay, we're there, we hit it, and we get out as quick as we possibly can. What happens? We inseminate a woman and we go flaccid. Okay. Why? Because we got to leave it in her and get out before the competition gets there. We got to leave it and get out before, or hit it and get out before the husband comes back, you know. But we have to reproduce as quickly as possible and move on. That's what we are built for. That's what our biology is about.
So top of the hour, going to take a quick break and just talk about sponsors of the channel before we hop to calls. The number to call in, by the way, again, guys,. is 914-205-5356. We've already got a few in queue. We've taken Scott of the Grondike Soap Company, the Tactical Soap Company, as a channel sponsor. It is a company that supports men and masculinity. As you've noticed the last couple of weeks, there are companies that sell products to men that also kick them in the Johnson at the same time. They're happy to take your money, but they will kick you in the nuts while they're selling you their crap. Scott is a guy that will not do that. He's happy to support the creation of the Redman Group now. If you check out the pinned comment and the description comment, there's a link there to buy Tactical Soap. Coupon code for 10% off is RMG. Pheromone Infused Soap. It's an all-natural product. You're showering anyway. Why not use stuff that supports the creation of the content on this channel? And also in the chat, I'm linking the RMG Patreon. We do monthly broadcasts as a result of our patronage, just for straight-up Q&A sessions. Again, if you like what we're doing, we've got 816 viewers on here. We'd love to take on a few more patrons. It really helps us keep doing what we're doing. Quick jump over to the super chat. Hoki Buskisik. It's hard to pronounce these handles people come up with.
He's actually
women won't shut up about their education, job, etc. As if we give a F because they give an F. It's all projection. Impress me with no debt. Yeah, there's a lot of women that bring a lot of baggage to the table. There's no doubt about that. You want to hop into calls there, Donovan?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Now we've got 647 first, followed by 901, 240, and 501. Let's go to 647. You're on live with the Redman Group. Go ahead.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, one question and I have an observation on a topic. So I was talking to a girl in the gym. I asked for the number, but I realized I didn't have my phone on me. She took my number, and I asked her to text me, but she didn't do it. So I was just wondering, is that like a rejection, or is it more like I'm a
How
girl?
can you not remember 7 numbers?
Yeah. That is okay. So that is a rejection, and you should have told her. You have to command her.
Never
How you
ask
start,
a
how
girl
you
to
finish.
do anything. Yes.
You got to tell her from the get go. Text me.
Give me your number. Text me.
Guys, here's the thing. Let me just say this. Why are we putting this chick on a pedestal? Like, who cares? If she doesn't call you, she doesn't call you. Give her a number. She's not interested. She doesn't get to you. Next, spin another plate, right?
Yeah, because a lot of these guys, Rich, you know what it is? They make like one approach a week, and then they micro analyze everything. Like, oh, she
Forget it.
fucking
Move on.
she
Who
flinched
cares?
1 second and looked at me this way or that
It's
way.
pottery. It's some random in a gym. Who cares? Move
You,
on.
you just need to talk to like 50 girls a week because you don't have enough game if you get rejected by one girl and you're calling into the show.
It's one-itis. You're
Plus,
getting a
another
lot of
thing, too,
feedback.
like, is it
by the way,
90s?
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Jonathan, is
90s
that
game.
coming
How
from
do you
your end,
not
all that
remember a
feedback?
phone number?
Might actually be my end.
Oh, it's probably the
Negative.
caller. The caller's got the audio on. Just drop him. Go to the next call.
That's all right. All right. I'm gonna mute him and come back to him. He said he had an observation. Let's go to area code 901. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead. Area code 901 going once.
Guys, make sure you turn down the audio if you're watching the show. Another one. Guys, turn down the audio when you call
still getting
in.
the
Okay?
echoes.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
Is that me on the line?
This is you.
Yeah,
on
it
the
is.
line.
Yeah.
You on the line, guy?
Hi guys. My name is Omar. I'm in Memphis. I've called in before. Real quick, in and out question about hypergamy. Do you believe that it's possible that if a foreign girl finds a good sense of a community in like an ethnic zone or a community in one of these bigger cities, could that curb, the power of hypergamy?
No, absolutely not. Doesn't matter.
What did we just say this last hour?
What did you just
Guys,
say?
you cannot contract out of hypergamy. It is baseline female nature in their behavior.
Yeah, man, there's no negotiating around. This is like dropping a pen back. Okay, maybe gravity's not going to work this time. Maybe.
Oh, man.
Very, very well said. Yeah.
Hey, I'm still getting a really bad echo here. Is that one of us?
Here, let me see.
It's not me.
I've had headphones on. It's not coming from our end. Somebody's on the line with it.
Okay. I'm the only one that can't hear it. I can't hear the echoes.
I think it might be on your end because I'm hearing me snap back.
All right, hang on. All right, you guys go ahead and talk. I'm going to make some adjustments.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, chuck them in the comments. But how's the audio now that we've done that? Is it better? Just
I don't hear
now I don't hear anything at all.
Yeah, I made
It
the
must have been
sound
on.
switch.
Yeah, there
I
you
made
go.
the sound switch. What about now? Because this is where we can hear the callers and the callers.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
now you're good.
Yeah, that's
No, feedback. Echo,
back.
I'm getting it.
It's back
Yeah,
again.
that's
Okay,
it.
I'll go to a few minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, see if you can get it.
Well, yeah. Look, one thing there was a common thing that I noticed on my show as well. These past 2 weeks, right? It was because the guys do the show. They decide to book consultations after, right? And so I do my consultations, and they're like, "Well, 3 months ago, I went on a date with this girl, and she wore a pink dress, and she had this flower in her hair, and she moved her coffee like 3 inches to the right, and then she told me I'd go fuck myself. Like, what? What did I do wrong?" I'm like, "Dude, have you approached any of the girls in the meantime?" He's like, "No, I've just been 3 months and one girl."
Yeah.
I'm like, "When was the
Well,
last
there's
time you
your
had
problem.
sex?" Like 6 months ago. I'm like, "Okay, well, there's your fucking problem right there." That's like you going to the gym, you bench pressing one time, and you go home and you watch all these bench press videos, aka red pill videos in this situation, and then you're like, "Oh shit, like why don't I have a massively defined chest?" Because you went to the gym one time in 3 months, you asshole. Like you need to put the reps in for anything you want to get better at. If you want to get better at the gym, you need to put reps in at the gym. You want to get better at dating, you need to go on dates with multiple girls in multiple scenarios for consecutive weeks. It took me 5 solid years to develop the rock hard pimp game that I have now. Okay. And there's tons of rejections on the way. And I'm not like Rich. I have slayed some dragons to get to the princess I have now. So like, you've got to get out there and you've got to put the reps in. And you can't be what I've been calling all week. You can't be one of these fucking red pill masturbator guys. You can't be like buying all the courses. You can recite the rational male from the beginning to the end. You could do all this shit, but you've went on one date with one girl and you fucked a total of 3 girls in your life. You have no skill, because the real skill comes from in-field experience. That is true across the board in every single walk of life. You need in-field experience. You give me a guy who wants to learn how to fight, I throw him in the gym for 30 days, and I give a guy who wants to learn how to fight, and I give him a How to Box for Dummies textbook for 30 days. The guy in the gym is going to beat that guy's ass every single time. Same thing here. So don't be such a guy that's like microanalyzing one fucking thing.
Yeah.
Get out there, put the reps in. I mean, look at Donovan. Donovan ran a train on Las Vegas, right? And now he got a fucking super hot girl, settled down with her, and decided, hey, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I got this part of my life handled. Me too. So there you go.
It almost seems like common sense is absent or too absent. You know what I mean? Like
some guys saying that in the
like
chat.
Common sense should dictate. You give a girl your number, she doesn't call you. It's because she didn't like you. Who cares?
Right.
Move on.
Dude, that's at all levels of commitment too. Like you see it too with married guys. The girls cheat and he thinks it's something he did wrong. It's like she made the choice. They always want to make excuses and they're fearing failure. The number guy, man. You're 90s guys. How do you not remember 7 digits? Like, do you want to get laid bad enough to remember 7 digits? How hard is it?
Yeah, it used to be that was
nobody,
like
nobody can remember 7 digits now.
Yeah,
Well,
that
we
was
used to
back
have
when
like shoe boxes full of like napkins with like really scratched on numbers. Like, come on, guys.
that was back when a number close actually meant something.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's off. Is
Donovan,
my
how's
mic
your
off?
audio? You want to try it again?
Can you guys hear me?
It sounds
Your
like
mic
your
is off.
webcam's
Sounds like
picking
you
up
took
your.
it off. Yeah, I
it
don't
sounds
even
like
hear
your
your
mic's
mic.
off and your webcam's picking it up now.
How's that? Is that better?
Nope,
Take it
still
down.
off. Yeah, mic's still off.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna do something. I'll be right back.
Hey, you
All
know,
right.
I was just gonna. I'll just add something on here. Is guys in this situation that Jonathan is describing this is what I call the sniper mentality, and these guys will focus on just one chick, right?
Yeah.
That's like because they have, for whatever reason, they subscribe to the idea that it should just be one guy and one girl, and you find the one, and you find that girl that best exemplifies whatever your ideals for the ideal chick is, and you focus on that, and you try to prove your quality to her, and you try to it's open communication. You got to make her comfortable, and you got to do all this, and you just go through this laundry list of behaviors and things that you're supposed to do to get that girl to come around to being you have to be your friend first, right? And then they just completely like throw away anything that has to do with seduction, and then they wonder why they get rejected after they've spent the last like 6 weeks, 2 months to create this feeling of familiarity and
Covert
comfort with
contract.
this person. Yeah. And so what they do is they become snipers. They have one target, and at some point they have to wait it out until they have their perfect opportunity, and then they take that one shot, and then they get blown out because they've spent all this time making themselves into like this girl's
A
brother.
manipulative, unattractive asshole, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And so and this is something that has been going on for a very long time. I've been taking one of the reasons that this is in the first book is because for all through the 90s and in through the 2000s and stuff, I dealt with guys that did exactly this, where they just put all their eggs in one basket. And it goes back to what I was talking about before, which is called strategic pluralism theory. There are guys who are lower SMV who will focus primarily on one chick, and the higher SMV guys will focus on many girls, right? So there's like the 20% of guys who women want to get with all the time. Their sexual strategy is going to be one way. And for the rest, for those 80%, those guys are forced into this idea that they're doing it right? That they're having meaningful sex because they spent 6 months trying to get this girl into bed and convincing her that he's like the perfect boyfriend. And that's the sniper mentality. The sniper mentality is for those guys who think that they need to invest all of their energies into one chick.
How are we doing with audio call in? We saw he came on, then he left. Okay.
Yeah, Donovan's out. You want to just take that super chat right there?
Yeah, hang on, let me switch back here. I was reading comments. Justin, $20. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Divorce just finalized and close to zero out, working on S&B and getting ready to spin plates this spring. Thanks to RMG. You're welcome, Justin. Glad we can help. It's tough out there. There's not a lot of useful information out to men that want to optimize themselves and become the best version of themselves, and it's what we try to produce. We're just trying to be honest about the reality of the world. It's extremely risky. It's extremely different than what we've been told it's supposed to be. We just talk about the reality of it. Sorry, go ahead, Donovan.
Try again, Don.
There's so much bad information out there as well, Rich. I would
Lots
just
of
say, like,
shitty information.
there's so, like, armies and armies and armies. Like, I won't say any names, but there's just so many bad, like, scammy guys out there. So I understand if you guys are apprehensive as well, because I used to look into it myself just to, like, see what part of the community was. And I literally, I'm not gonna lie to you. This guy said, he said, you need to walk into a club with a fucking banana, and that is a way to get girls' attention. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Peacocking, man.
Dude, that's almost as ridiculous as my outfit.
I feel like that you should be playing Nelly's Pimp Juice in the background anytime you talk.
Oh, that's just that's my lifestyle.
Dude,
right there.
I watched
theme song to my life.
I didn't get to see it in the theaters, but I watched Bohemian Rhapsody over
That's
this
an awesome
week.
movie. Yeah,
It is an awesome movie, but dude, you're like giving me some real Freddie Mercury vibes.
Yeah, he had
Dude,
some
the
Buck
Japanese
Season
people say
before
that
on Freddie.
all the time right now. They're like, oh, because the movie in Japan is called Queen. They're like, oh, Queena.
Yeah. All right,
So I'm riding that gravy train right now.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
We got any other questions? Let's see here.
Let's see. What else do I have on my misconceptions list?
One guy just said, it's funny. He says, where's the best place online to get free dating information? And, like, obviously, I know this is going to sound shilly and salesy, but the best information usually isn't free. But I'm not saying get out there and pay the most expensive price. But obviously, we have 52 episodes on here. I guarantee you, if you watch every single episode that we have, if you're serious about this, because, I don't know if you're just another red pill masturbator. His name is Superman in the chat, but you watch every single episode of Red Man Group, and then you knock out, episodes on Rolo's channel, and then Rich has like 160,000 plus subscribers on his YouTube channel, so that alone should show you that the value is there. There's plenty of free information right there. Red Man Group, all of these episodes, and then start knocking out Rich, his Entrepreneurs in Cars, like, watch his stuff as well. If you watch all that stuff, believe me, if you take action, you're gonna have the like top 10% sex life than most men ever will experience.
Hey, let me throw this one out there. This is something that we can talk about. Is there is another misconception about hypergamy that, first of all, that it's men's fault. Okay, that men put up with this. I mean, we talked about this, and do women have agency, right? Women aren't going to, they can't be held responsible for the worst of their behaviors, which I think is bullshit. But anyways, what the common misconception is that hypergamy gives women an out for bad or evil treatment of women. And the more we talk about it, and the more we formalize it, or the more we make a big deal out of hypergamy, or the more we don't hold women's feet to the fire about it, just by talking about hypergamy, we give them an out for bad behavior. And I think, first of all, I think that's bullshit, because I don't think anybody here is giving them an out. It's just, hypergamy just is, okay? It's not bad or it's not good. It's just, and how, what side of the stick are you on? Are you on the sharp side of it, or are you on the blunt side of it? Okay. Are you hypergamy is going to be something that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Okay. That's just female nature. Okay. But that's not saying, just because we're analyzing it, just because we're having this discussion about it, does not mean we're endorsing that hypergamy is, something that went, well, when women are just women, it's like the devil made me do it, right? Well, biology made me do it, or hypergamy made me do it. I can remember when I think it was The Selfish Gene first came out, and it was a popular book for the pickup artist community in the early 2000s, and there was a lot of blog posts that were written about The Selfish Gene, right? And all of these women who were critical of pickup artists at the time said, oh great, this is just going to give guys a reason, or sort of an out for their bad behavior, right? It's your selfish gene. You guys can't help but be cads and want to fuck a lot of women because biology made you that way. This is the reverse of that. Well, hypergamy made women bad, and so now you're just giving them an out, or now it's like you're excusing their bad behavior by calling it hypergamy, or by saying it. And what that gets back down to, and I think Ryan could probably speak to this, is it's that moral aspect of women's behavior being excused by a biological dynamic. And it goes back to what is truth and what is what is morally true. We've had these buffers on hypergamy for a very long time through societal measures or through religion or whatever, and those are gone now. So I can understand why guys would say that, but just because we're talking about it does not mean we're endorsing the behavior that goes along with hypergamy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I hate
You guys
the
can hear
shit
me
out
now,
of
right?
Yeah, much
yeah,
better.
you sound
Much
great.
better.
Yeah, you
As
want
soon
to
as
try it
the guys
again?
are saying should,
Calls again.
that's just a
Yeah, I'm gonna
convoluted
give
way
it
of
in.
him saying what he wants. There's no power coming from it, and morality is not as objective as people say. Not saying things aren't useful. Don't murder me, I won't murder you. Great moral objective there, but they only work if everybody agrees to it. So for all these like tradcons talking about morality of not slipping on a dick and not divorce raping your husband and not estranging him from your kids, clearly at least 50% of the people don't care about it. So all you're doing is sabotaging your life. And that's like, it sucks. Nobody likes it. The 1950s were better. However you want to chalk it up, it's there. You got to deal with it. It's like you said, Rollo. It's just, those are the rules now. And part of the red pill is ditching the old rule book and seeing the one that's directly in front of you and getting past your ego and seeing what's actually happening.
Let me hit this super chat before we go back to calls. We'll try them again. We got Vincent Vale. Thanks for $20. I'm having trouble talking with people in general, family, people at work, and girls. Keeping a conversation going is a struggle. What can I do to work on this? You sound like an extreme introvert. I'm really introverted, if I'm being honest, although I go into extroversion phases. Keeping conversation going means getting into conversations that are interesting to you. You're not going to talk about shit that you're not interested in. I mean, if you're sitting in a room and they're talking about basket weaving, it's hard to engage in that conversation. So put yourself in a place that, deals with conversations that, you'll get some value out of it, would be my take on it, unless anybody else wants to touch on that.
Yeah, I teach conversational English all day, every day. So, dude, you just got to practice. Again, like, look, if you suck at something, you just put the reps in, guys. It's that fucking simple. All right. It's just a science behind it. The synapses in your brain haven't developed yet. All right. And the more you practice it, the more these synapses in your brain develop. Okay. So practice. Get out there and just talk to people. Talk to a guy next to you when you're at the coffee shop and just like make a point to talk to somebody. I mean, I could talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime about anything. Right. I'm a shocker alert. I mean, I'm a natural extrovert. Right. So, that's just something. You can't be afraid of conversation. And the good thing is, if you put the reps in, like, dude, it's not normal, your situation right now. Even if you're afraid to talk to family, that's not normal. Okay. If you say you're having trouble talking with people in general, family, people at work, and girls, look, every aspect of your life is going to suffer if you don't get this handled. So repetition.
A lot of guys, if you guys can still hear me, correct?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Perfect. A lot of guys who think they're introverts don't realize that they're only introverted when they're around women. They can talk to men and talk to their buddies all day, every day. But when they're in the presence of a woman, all of a sudden they're introverts. No, you're not an introvert. You're just afraid to talk to girls, right? And a lot of guys, like Richard says, he's an introvert. I don't know. I'm not around Richard 24/7, but I don't know. He doesn't really strike me as an introverted guy. A lot of guys really think about your day. Okay, when am I an introvert? When am I an extrovert? If you are introverted around women, then you are afraid to talk to women. That's not a you problem, but you still need to fix that. You can't expect girls to just throw the panties at you. We're men. We have to be the aggressors. And if you are introverted around girls don't like that. And if you're a naturally introverted person, guess what? You do the same thing. Listen, if you have small biceps, guess what? Get in the gym, do some deadlifts, do some standing overhead presses. This is what needs to be done. You have to take yourself out of your comfort zone. I know it sounds cliche-ish, but if you really want to get better at something, listen, you don't learn to swim by watching YouTube videos, right? No, you learn to swim by jumping in the
water
and swimming. Yep. That's how it works. The same thing.
I always say, if you want to score a goal, you got to get on the ice.
So Rich, I'm like you.
Sorry, I want to hit the super chat, but before I do, I'll throw it back over to you, Ryan. Donovan, does the call system work? Do you want to post the number again, or is it down for today?
Yeah, no, I'm still good. I got the calls up and everything.
Okay, so guys, if you want to call in 914-205-5356, Nabil sends 100. I don't know, what is that, Rand?
I don't know, Scoobies.
Okay, so Nabil sends 100 Scooby snacks. He goes, "Where can I learn game? I learned a couple of things from Sasha Day Game. Where do you guys would suggest I learn game from?" I'll say this again. I've said it 1,000 fucking times. Like cold approach. Okay, it's good. It builds confidence. But these fucking pickup artists, these day game guys, the RSD guys, all they're doing is you're giving you lines to regurgitate. It doesn't help you navigate life. Okay. We've already seen what happens when you regurgitate lines, you make your 50 cold approaches, you get one number, then you have one itis, and then you wonder why she doesn't call you. That's why guys call in going, I gave her my number, but she didn't call me. Skip the day game shit. Skip the game stuff. I mean, if you want to do day game, Roosh's book Day Bang is probably the best one. But in my estimation, in my view, read Rollo's first 2 books. This exact question came up yesterday on our Patreon Q&A. Read Rollo's first 2 books like 5 times. All you need to do is navigate life with a red pill lens. You don't need to learn how to regurgitate remembered lines and approach women. It's retarded. It's a waste of your time.
I'm of the opinion that the red pill is the theory and game is the practice. I think you still need to go out there and you need to do things, but I think that guys tend to focus on one or the other to the exclusion of the other. So guys will go out there and like I really hate that we get lumped in with like, oh, those guys in the RMG, they're all pickup artists. We're not pickup artists. Trust me, I'm not a pickup artist. Anybody who's read my book knows I'm not a pickup artist, but I understand why what POAs do works. I understand why game works. I break it down for you in no uncertain terms as to why what they're doing, from a psychological and sociological perspective is going to work for those guys. Where can you learn that kind of stuff? I think it sort of depends on who the guy is. I agree with Rich. Read my books. Read at least the first 2 of them, twice over before you decide that you want to go out and start learning game. If that's where you're at, then you need to start looking for guys who have a style or that you're comfortable with. Like I could refer you to Goldman, like Goldman Unleashed. He's got a certain style.
If you're
to
artistic,
what he does.
That's a great style for you,
exactly.
Right?
Are you like this playboy kind of mentality? Do you want to get into that kind of, that kind of stuff? Get a Christian McQueen. Go look up Jonathan. Go look up Nick Krauser. Go look up Kyle Trouble. There's a lot of guys out there that I would say are at least a red pill based. Okay. You need to find, if you're going to look for somebody who was going to teach you like technique and game, at least make sure that they're red pill based. Everybody from RSD that I have seen thus far are in no way red pill based, but don't come here and call us PUAs. I mean, we have PUAs on the show occasionally. Right. And I think that that's an important part of the conversation. But, the Red Man Group is not specifically about pickup artistry.
We've had a lot of different factions of the Manosphere and the Red Man Group in 52 episodes.
Yes.
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
Donovan, we got, actually, before we go to those callers, Ryan, you wanted to chime in?
Oh, it's mostly about the conversation stuff. I'm kind of like you. I used to have parties at my place and then sneak off for a bit to hide in a dark room and kind of recharge.
Yeah, I get it.
The thing for the introvert guy, sometimes conversations are not going to be interesting. People are NPCs. Here is something I learned from a girl that fucking wrapped me around her finger once. Get them to do all the heavy lifting in the conversation. You ask them a question and get them to talk about themselves. You ask expanding questions so they get to expand on things. If you don't understand it or you think they're just bullshitting you, ask them a question to expand on it as well. 2 things are going to happen. 1, you don't have to be good at conversation. All you have to do is be good at driving them to talk about what they want to talk about, which is going to make you more interesting. It makes you sound smarter. And at the end of the day, they're going to think you're a great conversationalist when all you did was just give them some feed pellets. Here, talk about this. Here, talk about this. Going to come in super handy with thoughts that have not a thought in their head. Mm-hmm. And you might actually learn a little something or two about how they think, which will come up good later. That's the one thing I got advice for that one.
All right. Thanks for that, Ryan. Let's hit the super chat before we go to calls. Nabil sent another 100 Scooby Snacks. He says, you guys should check out David Mills' Law of Implication. I think he's blue pill, but it teaches how to think and would be amazing with the red pill. Has anybody read that book? I've not read it.
No, I haven't read it yet. And by the way, I'm told that 100 Scooby Snacks is about $2 American. So there we go. Wow. Excellent. Yeah. So thanks for the Scooby Snacks. 914-205-5356. We're going to try to mow through these callers so we can get you guys all in here.
And guys, make sure you turn down the audio on your broadcast if you're listening to it in the other room. Like just turn it off.
Turn down your radio. We don't want to hear ourselves. Thanks. We hear ourselves. All right, here we go. Area code 647. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hello, guys. I was the first caller. Like, it doesn't seem like you guys really represented me well in terms of your
Okay, well,
about
please correct us.
Let's hear it.
Well, like for example, Ryan said, "Oh, I didn't remember my 7 digits," which is not what I said. I said I didn't have my phone on me because I was in the gym. So she asked for my number, and then I told her to text me her name. So I have her number on my phone.
Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
I said.
Take charge, man.
Yeah. No,
No, I got a good memory. What's your number, babe? You remember this? Oh yeah, you're that important to me. But you didn't try. You just gave it to her. You let her take responsibility for it.
Yeah, that's the same thing I said as well. It's like,
Mike's
look,
gone again.
when the guy when you engage with a woman, okay, you have to give her specific commands if you
Yes.
want to maximize the probability of your outcome. All right, for all you brainy guys, I broke it down like super nerd language for you, okay? You have to control as much of the interaction as possible in order for you to get your desired outcome, because only you know what your desired outcome is. You can't project onto her that she's just going to know and assume. So take the phone, put your number in, save it. What's my name? Ultra hot dude. Text her. Hey, it's blah, blah, blah from the gym. Okay. And then let her know, okay, I've got your number. I don't have my phone with me right now, but when I get to my phone, I'm going to text you. We should hang out sometime. That's do it. If you do that and you get rejected, hey, you did your piece. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, let me
Next
just add
one
to
in the
that,
chamber.
guys. Yeah, let me just add to that. I did a video a while ago called Why Genuine Burning Desire Matters. I'm going to link it in the chat. Just click it and open it. Watch it after Redman Group. It explains exactly why you only want to use any energy, any fucks to women that have high desire. Like we're talking 9s and 10s. You give your number to a chick, she doesn't call you. Who cares? Move on. Spin another plate. It doesn't matter. Why would you even think about it? She doesn't like you. Move on.
We've got a comment in here by Roman Brodsky, who I'm pretty sure is the chat Thundercock. He says, remembering a number is beta. Sorry. You want to know what else is beta?
What?
Being sorry. Move along.
You fucking faggot. Are you kidding me? 7 numbers is beta, you retard.
Exactly.
I'm going to demonetize this for shitting on that idea.
Listen, dude, Roman is that red pill. He's that meathead red pill guy. I don't do anything for women. They got to come suck my dick. I don't give a fuck. As soon as I bust it on, I kick her the fuck out. No, you don't, dude. Don't come in here and act like you've got all the game. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
Does he make her do the thrusting too? Because thrusting is beta for when you're having sex, or
This dude read 1.5 pickup artistry books, and now he thinks he knows the red pill. Get the hell out of here. Area code 501. You're on live with the brother good God, the Redman Group. Go ahead.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right. First of all, I want to say Tactile Soap is awesome, works, amazing. So thank you, gentlemen, for the
Yes, sir. I
recommendation.
love
I've
it.
been using for about 3 months now. It's amazing. And what Scott Carr says, get within
Which
a
one?
couple feet of them. They can't hold themselves back. They
I
can't.
love it.
They don't know what to do with
I
themselves.
fucking love it.
It's really cool. It really works. I read a bunch of shitty reviews on Amazon. I corrected them all. So
Yeah, my man. Wait, is this Scott?
what I wanted to ask you guys, is anybody familiar with Patrice O'Neill? He was a comedian.
of course.
He died.
Yes.
Yeah, of course,
Yes,
man. He was an icon.
absolutely. That guy's number one, in my opinion. Number one.
Say what now? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he said he was number one. Patrice is number one. He was red pill before red pill. Yeah.
What I was gonna say, we were talking about hypergamy, and have you guys heard his joke about fishermen and fish?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think it's the greatest explanation. For guys out there that haven't heard of that, check that out. It's the greatest explanation because he talks about catch the fish, yada yada yada. But the minute you get the fish and you're like, oh, it's the last fish I ever wanted to catch, then she goes, well, why do you still have a boat and a fishing rod?
Ooh. That's exactly
And
right.
then, just to sum it up, what it is this.
One-
He says hooking up with girls. Okay, Patrice O'Neill says like this: hooking up with girls is like a fisherman. You catch the fish, you take it out, you take a picture of the fish because you show your friends, hey, this is the type of fish I can catch. This is my level of skill. And then you throw the fish back in the water. And the girls that want to be in an LTR with you, they're the fish that jumps back into the boat and it's like flopping around. It's like, oh, where's this going? Why don't you want to be with me? And then as the betazation process begins during the LTR, she's asking you, well, why do you have fishing rods? Why do you have a boat? And he's like, I have fishing rods and a boat because I need to let you know that I still have the ability to catch other fish.
Right.
Because if I lose that ability, you're going to start to act like a fool. You're going to start trying to test me, give me shit tests, and then you're going to try to treat me like I'm some bum. So I keep my boat and my poles to let you know that I'm the boss and for you to act right.
And if you don't act right, guess what? I'm going fishing. That's how
It's
that's
a wonderful
right.
parable, man. It's wonderful.
It really is. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 405. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, an enormous thank you to everything you're doing, in particular, Rollo. You got me out of a really tough time in my life. I was a ROTC cadet before I got hit with a false rape accusation that fucked up not only my college career, but also, of course, legal trouble, which I fought down, but it cost me a lot of friends and relationship with my family and whatnot over something that I didn't do. And I just didn't understand the ramifications of letting myself be vulnerable. And anyways, it was rebuilding and reading, the Rational Mail and learning all that thing. I really like what you said, that it's not just lines. It kind of fits everything into kind of a paradigm shift in your mind. I love that Patrice quote about fishing. Getting into red pill theory and everything kind of led me down to the Black Phillip show and everything. So it was it's been just an incredible ride, and so I just wanted to say thank you. The really only question I have, as goes hypergamy, is how do you start translating all of this stuff from just online into kind of the real world, viz. Building red pill relationships in the real world with men? It's easy enough for me to get a girl's number. It's easy enough for me to approach. I've got what I think a relative amount of abundance. I'm never tied down to just one girl. I'm doing okay financially, living on my own, being independent, whatever. But it's been difficult to try and translate that into finding other guys to kind of build a tribe with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, finding like-minded men with that have that same red pill awareness. It's not easy, but thanks to the internet, it has become easier. You look at the chat. This is why we do the location shout out, right? So if you're a guy listening to the show and you're from Tampa, Florida, and you see someone who lives in St. Petersburg, maybe someone lives in Boca, the three of hey, listen, give me your information, give me my information, and you guys can hook up. That's one way to do it. I don't know if anybody else has any other suggestions.
But this is just, you got to be part of this community, man. Listen, dude, you want to be a pimp? You want to be a gorilla pimp like me and Don? Dude, this life is lonely. All right? You need to get a dog.
Straight up.
It's for real. Like, you're unplugged, bro. We're the red pill community. Like, look at that scene in The Matrix. It shows Morpheus, Trinity, and Neo all walking into oncoming traffic. Everybody's walking one way and they're walking the other way.
Right.
That's us. And that's it, dude. You're fucked. You're stuck like this. So you need to either, be a part of this community. Look, we're all over. I'm in Japan. You got Donovan on the East Coast. You got Rich up in Canada. You got Rollo, Nevada, right? So we have and then there's tons of other places as well.
Nevada.
Fuck, I knew you were gonna correct me. I try to say it right. Is Nevada?
It's Nevada. Yeah, there are bumpers.
Nevada. Okay, I was waiting for it. I thought.
Wait, what'd you call it? Nevada?
Nevada. Everybody who's outside of the state of Nevada.
Everyone outside of the state calls it that. Yes.
And people in
Nevada. So, anyways, yeah. But look, we're all over the place. And look, and here's the thing. Digitally, we're present, man. Now I have a radio show every morning, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. You can't catch that. Guess what? Donovan has a show at night, every night, Monday through Friday as well. And then we're here on Saturday. And then some of us are going to start going on Sunday. Well, no, Rollo has a show on Sunday.
Yeah.
So if you can't get the companionship you're seeking in real life, dude, it's 2019, baby. Join a digital community. We are here for you. And we're here literally every single day. Like
a lot of guys
Monday,
ask
Friday.
like a lot of guys ask about community. It's why I built my men's community, to allow these guys to have conversations in an arena that's free of judgment, compromise, or even feminine energy. Like, it's a man space only, and you can join them. I've got one. There's guys out here that obviously are putting things together. Create your own, whatever you want, like whatever you feel that works for you. Community matters. Like, men like to do things together and have these conversations. So just find a place to do it. Right.
Listen, I'm looking in the chat right now. I see 1, 2, 3 guys who are in or near Philly. Guess who's also in Philly? George Bruno. Right. Like, so if you want to know, and yeah, this is If you wanna get in, if you wanna start communities with like-minded men, these are the shows you watch. And I think what we should do every episode, just for 30 seconds, hey guys, put your location in. Where are you from? Tampa, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada, Seattle, wherever you are. That way everybody can see where you are. You guys can hook up and start your own communities, and then of course come here on Saturdays. I think that's a very good question with a very simple solution.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. I think this is Ray in PG. Ray in Prince George's County, man. Did I get this right?
Yeah, you already know.
Yes. All right. I got the phone number right. What's going on, Ray? How you doing, man?
Hey, man. First of all, I want to say this is my first time calling a Red Man group. I have to thank you all personally, because not only do I follow all of y'all collectively, individually, I follow all of y'all. And before I start, I would like to say I'm a missionary, and I have recently converted 2 new members to the Red Pill, man. And it's such a great feeling.
Red Pill missionary. I love it. Go ahead.
PTL, baby. PTL.
And the guy, the most recent, we were at a party, and I'll never forget. I will never forget, because me last year wouldn't do this. So we're at a party, and I'm downstairs getting me some food, and I'm hearing all of these little hyenas talking about, real men should do this, real men should do that. And his wife in particular said, well, I made him wait 3 months until I gave him a piece of anything.
Oh my
and
God.
I don't even know what it was. I don't know what it was. But the minute the way she said it, something with Demi just said, you had to say something. I said, you made him wait because he didn't give you the tingles. And then
it just comes out. It just comes out. You can't help it.
Real quiet.
Yeah, right.
It got real quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop. And she was like, what?
Like, oh shit.
I said,
he's right.
You made him wait because he didn't give you the tingles. And then after that, that's when it was just a done deal. Because they, I'm going to use this analogy like on Star Wars. They were shooting like blasters at me. I was Darth Vader, like waving the blasters off, and I just pushing, move them all out the way. Because they would just hit me with that's what it was like. Because they would hit me with the usual female rhetoric, and I was just dismissing it all. Everything they were coming at me with. Well, a 50-50, and real men should be doing this, real men should be doing that. I said, you know what kills me about women? Is that you're always talking about we're the good men, but what happens when that good man requires y'all to be good women? And then after that, it was just quiet. And then it was quiet.
Yep.
Hey, listen,
dude. In these days, man, it's so bad in the States. Like a girl could be a 6 right now. I was just gonna say it's so bad right now for girls who are listening. You could be a 6. All you need to do is learn how to cook, clean, and listen to your man and support him. Be positive around him, and you'll have an army of guys after you.
Jonathan, listen, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go one further. Women today don't even have to do that. Listen, it certainly helps, but a woman will have her choice in men. Again, she could be a 6. All she's got to do is stay awake at the wheel. What this means is that all women have to do is refrain from 2 activities, and they will have their pick of men when they are of age. Don't eat a bunch of crap, and don't be a slut. All you got to do is not eat chocolate cake and soda and pizza and suck down girly drinks at the club at 2:00 in the morning, and don't be a hoe, and you're set. And this is the difference between a man's life and a woman's life. Women are born. All they have to do is not fuck it up. We as men, we have to be proactive because we're not born with the things that make us attractive to the opposite sex. We have to work on those things. Women are born this way. Don't eat junk food. Don't take a bunch of dick. That's it. That's all you got to do. And a lot of women pay these women hundreds of thousands of dollars to, how do I get a real man? Sweetheart, don't eat junk. Don't be a hoe. That'll be $39.99. You're welcome.
Yep. Keep your mouth shut and keep your legs shut.
All right. I got a super chat here from James. Thanks, brother. He says, thank you, Richard, for introducing me to the works of Jay Campbell. I just received his diet book and plan to incorporate his advice starting tomorrow. I did a broadcast, if you guys didn't see it, on my channel yesterday with Jay Campbell on shredding, getting ripped. He's got a lot of good insight on intermittent fasting, so check that out. It's Friday that I put that up.
Okay, excellent. And his $20 super chat equates to about 1,400 Scooby snacks. So thank you for the 1,400.
And we love Scooby snacks.
We love Scooby snacks.
You guys, it's a good technique. We used it in the military when we hit 4 different countries in a month. You couldn't keep track of all the different things. You just called them Scoobies. It's way easier.
Oh, I like it. All right, good stuff. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got 3 more calls to get to. Area code 347. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hello, how you doing, guys?
Good.
All right. You want to make sure you're feeding me back. Well, I called before when it was you, Jake, with Rollo before back like a couple of months ago. that we're talking about other red pill stuff. The whole reason I'm calling is, I guess it's some type of branch of hypergamy. I don't know if you guys remember, but I called you when I had a situation at my job with this guy that, you know, his girl was all over
Yes,
me.
right. She was telling, I remember she was telling you about his girl, and we told you that his girl wants to fuck you. She doesn't want you to be in the friend zone. She's complaining about him. And you're like, dude, should I fuck this guy's girl? And we were like, dude, don't do it. So what happened?
Yes. So, you know, I did what I had to do, man. But anyway, that's another story. What happened was, now I'm in this situation where it's like, man, even before that day that I called, right? So I got this friend of mine, I'll say, right? And she's going through some stuff, whatever. Man, the other day she asked me for something that just took me out of, like, I was like, whoa.
What she asked you?
She asked me if I could give her a baby. Like,
Oh, for crying out loud.
Jesus Christ, run.
Run.
Or just bang her and pull out at last minute, be like, oh, sorry, I fucked up. We can try this again next time.
Listen to what he's saying. He says he wants him to fuck her. She doesn't need child support. She just needs you to be a sperm donor, right? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, that's what she said. And she's around my age. I'm in my early 30s.
Oh,
right?
Well, yes, of course she wants a baby from you because she's past the wall, man.
She doesn't want it from him. She just wants it. He's irrelevant.
But pick this though. That was her. That was to me. I already said no. In my mind, I was like, no, but you know, I'm flattered, sweetie, but I can't do this.
Okay.
Now, there's, you know, I work with people from all ages. Now there's this really wealthy lady from my hand. I'm in New York, by the way.
No.
She's on her 36, 37. Yeah, she's doing great financially. And, you know, we've been interacting with each other for some time. She asked me the same thing, man. And I got 3 kids already.
Oh, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, no,
So
dude.
I don't know what you're saying, man.
Are you washing your body with tactical soap? What's going on here?
I swear to God.
No, I'm like, oh, what is making these women asking me all this stuff? Like, and, you know, like with her, she's a grown woman and she got her shit together. She went as far to tell me, like, you know, we can even do this. Like, I bring my lawyer and we sign papers.
No, it's a hell no. It's a hell no. You guys never, ever, ever do that. Like, you cannot contract out of child support. No. If she wants to nail you for that afterwards, then she's on you and you're on that thing for 20 years, man, just for like 10 seconds of excitement. Like, it's the dumbest thing you could ever do. Never, ever, ever. Like, I don't even know why women have the arrogance to ask men these stupid fucking requests.
Because men do it. Men are stupid.
I know, yeah, because they'll do it.
Listen, this is hypergamy personified, especially the last one. The woman is set financially. She doesn't need a beta bucks because she can take care of herself financially. What she needs is the alpha fucks. And obviously, I guess this guy's a good-looking guy. He's got women asking him, "Hey, will you please put a baby in me?" Well, the reason they're doing this is obviously, you know, it's one of two things or both. Either you're 6'3", you know, 230 pounds and 8% body fat, or you're bathing yourself in tactical soap, or both every single day. These older women who are in their 30s, they want you to put a baby in them because they don't need you financially. Women normally want a man's money and sperm. Well, if they have the money, all they want is the sperm. This is why women who are financially stable are the biggest hoes.
Guys, here's the thing. I had a woman ask me this exact same fucking question when I was 30, and I blew it off. And she married some guy a few years later, and guess what? She divorced him 7 years after that. Do not fucking comply with these retarded requests. Please, wake up.
Women would rather share a successful alpha than be saddled with a faithful beta. This is your example of that right here.
So true, dude. So many alphas get caught cheating, and they're just like, "Okay, I'll forgive you this time. Okay, I'll forgive you this time. Okay, I'll forgive you this time."
Well, and the thing is like here you have women who, whether or not they are consciously aware of their own hypergamy, their behaviors belie the truth of hypergamy. That's what she's doing here. What did I start out with? I started out with talking about how too many guys only focus on the beta buck side of hypergamy. Well, that's the only thing that counts, right? Is that you're an adult and that you have kids and that you're a good parent and you have a good job, and that's all the women really care about, because that's all hypergamy is. Bullshit. Right here is proof positive that they're interested in alpha fucks just as much as they are in the beta buck side of things. They have one side already planned and set for them, whether that, you know, she's got money in the bank, she's stable with her long-term security in some form. What's left?
Here's the thing. I think I think that the alpha seed the alpha seed part is probably in greater demand, especially if they've already locked down the beta bucks.
Yeah, particularly today.
100%.
That's why we facilitate it with like sperm banks, and we pat women on the back. I mean, what is it? 43% of babies born in Western society are born out of wedlock. Why? Because we facilitate it. We give it to them. We make it as easy as possible for them to do that. Back before the sexual revolution, that was scandalous. It was totally scandalous if a woman got pregnant with outside of wedlock. And now what do? We have sperm banks. We freeze their eggs. We do all of this other shit to facilitate it, because that we've switched from a marriage plan or a marriage model for child rearing to a child support model of child rearing. And that's what this guy is getting. If you be signing yourself up for, if you did that, you're signing yourself up for child support.
All right.
We got like 10 minutes left. We got any more calls?
Yeah, we got 3 more, man. Area code 510. You're on live with the Red Man Group. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brandon, aka Oaktown Spineless. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what up, dude?
Hey, first time listener, listening to Donovan and MLG for a while, so I decided to give a call in. I heard you guys talk about, when it comes like practice and, going out there, dating and stuff like that. I was saying, like, what you guys think of like the speed dating and the single meetups, how I live in the Bay Area, and they have like events out there where you can go out to maybe do some cooking classes or go out to like the bowling alley and like the
put the dogs in the cage and see if they have sex.
Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. I went to a speed dating thing at an anime convention. I don't give a good goddamn. I mean, the thing is, if you go to these events, bro, it's clear cut while you're there. Like you can like holler at a girl on Instagram. She's like, oh my God, I'm just here for Instagram. Like, don't holler at me. But if you're at a dating event, duh, like it's already there. They've already given up hope, man. Like they've already there. So you could just prey in on that weakness and go for the easy kill, bro. Dude, spot on 100%. If they had those in my area, I'd go every fucking week.
Listen, I advise guys to do this all the time. Guys, I have a lot of clients who say, yeah, I'm on Tinder and I do cold approach, but you sort of run into a slump. There is a game that I don't know what it's officially called. It's called Activity Game. Be active, just like the guy said. Cooking classes, join a softball league, bowling alley, volunteer. Most volunteers are what, gentlemen? Women. And women love being a male volunteer that is the epitome of, again, hypergamy personified. You're this alpha dude doing a beta thing. Oh, that's so sweet. Just like the Bachelor, Colton Underwood, who is absolutely a beta. Women see him as an alpha because he's this great looking guy with these movie star looks, and he also has a foundation for mentally ill children or children who are born with deformities or birth defects. So he is the ultimate catch. This is the best. And dance classes, improv classes. You're putting yourself in front of women who don't know that you're doing this for the sole purpose of putting yourself in front of women. They think you're just there for a dance class or a cooking class. And oh, by the way, when you're at your dance class, you can be having a conversation with a chick you're trying to fuck. Yeah, I was at a cooking class the other day and we learned to cook XYZ. And yeah, I was bowling, and she's gonna say, wow, this guy does cooking class, bowling class. Like, this guy really sounds interesting. Let me hit his IG. Oh wow, this guy has an adventurous life. I want to be a part of that. Listen, 510, that is brilliance. That is absolute brilliance. Get yourself out there. Do activities that are not designed to get you pussy. It's almost like you're running indirect game without actually having to do it, while also giving yourself more agency.
Plausible deniability.
There you go.
The other thing is you can
be like, I couldn't help myself. We were in dance class and it just happened. Perfect.
Yeah. You don't want to become what's called domain dependent. And I see, and I think Roosh is probably one of the biggest examples of this. Is like, he only knows one thing. It's club game, and that's it. Guys who are like only do day game because it's successful. I mean, maybe they find that, but they become domain dependent on that. And I think guys need to, like, once you have the red pill lens, it goes with you everywhere. I mean, we were just talking to that one guy who was talking about how he can't find a community of guys or something like that. Well, yeah, it's because you have the red pill lens on, and you're basically seeing the code in the matrix all of a sudden. And it can be kind of lonely, but you got to use that and internalize that so that you can actually see the opportunities that are there. And the same thing happens like when you go and you diversify your game. Like if you're going to go be a volunteer, if you're going to go to salsa dancing, or you're going to go, whatever your hobbies are and stuff like that, you're going to see those opportunities there because you have the red pill lens that allows you to see what you could do. The mechanics don't change. It's just the context changes. So don't become domain dependent.
Real quick.
Yeah, dude, that's what Robert Greene said in The Art of Seduction. When you take this red pill and you start seeing this, dude, you got to be always on. If a girl bumps into you, you knock her phone out of her hand, you pick it up, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Then she starts choosing right away. Then right there's your opportunity. You always are on.
Always default to game.
That's right.
Yeah.
Real quick before
super helpful when you got a busy schedule too.
Well, yeah. Well, hey, look, I got to go, but here, put your number in my phone. We'll hang out sometime. That's a great way to go. Real quick before we get to our last caller, one trick pony. Don't be a one trick pony. I'll give you an example in terms of fighting. I don't know if you guys watched the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight. The fight ended in a draw. Now Tyson Fury was knocked down by Wilder twice. Okay, the first one was questionable. The last one, he definitely knocked him down. Fury got back up and then hurt Wilder. Anyway, Deontay Wilder is a one-trick pony. He probably has the greatest right hand in heavyweight history. Here's the problem: he doesn't know how to box. He doesn't have a jab. He doesn't have an uppercut. He doesn't have good lateral movement side to side. Tyson Fury doesn't have the knockout punch. He's not a one-trick pony, but Tyson Fury literally just picked him apart because he's a better boxer. Tyson Fury also, I believe, gave Vladimir Klitschko his very first loss. This is why we need to explore more than one area of game. Deontay Wilder he's only lost one match in his entire career, right? And he's drawn one. But if he learned to box, then he'd be a much better fighter. You're going to be much better with women if you optimize Tinder game and pickup game and activity game. You cannot put all of your eggs in one basket because inevitably you're going to run into a dry spell in one of those. Same with women. If one bitch starts acting up, no problem. I've got 3 other bitches on the side. Okay, so my Tinder game isn't tight this week, but guess what? You know what? I've got a bowling class, I've got a dancing class, and oh, by the way, I'm supposed to be volunteering at the hospital next week. That's how this works. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Last call of the day, area code 325. You are on live with the Redman Group. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How's it going today?
Good.
Good. I just have a quick question. So in relation to like the changing culture and everything that's going on with just having this knowledge and discussing it is kind of a danger. But at the same time, I feel compelled to like share this information with other guys because I just went through a divorce and I know how impactful that can be. And I've got buddies who are going through divorces. But at the same time, if you put this information out publicly, you have inherent risk.
Sure.
What is your advice in relation to that?
In relation to what?
Well, when it comes to stuff like divorce, I mean, anytime somebody looks for information on that, my videos come up. I mean, it's ridiculous how I just kind of talked about those experiences and people are able to find it. So there's lots of content out there. But I've said this before, I'll say it again, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. You can't cram the red pill. You can't cram this information down somebody's throat that's not ready to take it. I mean, it's bitter medicine, right?
Yeah, dude, like, I don't know, like, what are you doing? Like, walking down the road, slapping people, saying hypergamy doesn't care? Like, you don't need to, like, be, like, out there talking about this stuff in public. Just talk to private, talk to people who you need to talk to about it in your social circle, and then just make your approaches and use this information to maximize your dating life and then life overall as well. I don't understand.
I do. This is a real... This is a common occurrence for guys who just get unplugged. They want to become red pill evangelists. They want to go out there and say, "Man, this changed my life. I can't believe it." I was
go through that.
That's I have those guys in my consultations.
Yeah, exactly. They want to say, "I want to tell," or my brother's about to marry this complete bitch. How do I get him to open his eyes? You know, or like, because there's people in our lives that we really care about. Like maybe it's even your dad, right? Maybe it's your brother. Maybe it's somebody that's in your family that you really care about, who you're maybe even be concerned like he's going to pull an Anthony Bourdain, right? Like he's so wrapped up in some chick that he's going to commit suicide if she ever leaves him. And you want to give him this red pill knowledge that you have, acquired through myself or through anybody on this panel or whatever. And you want to basically save his life. And that's a noble thing. I think we all want to do that, but I think you have to you have to stand back a little bit from it because everybody wants to go shout it from the rooftops and say, "Hey, check this, look at all this real knowledge right here. Look, go read the Rational Male," right? Great. I'm glad you want to do that, but you have to understand there's a danger in doing that. The world is not ready for that just yet.
Especially just passing off you on that responsibility. Like if they can't explain it in normal conversation and they just hand you the book, that's fairly lazy.
Yes. Yeah. And there is no elevator speech for the red pill. You have to involve yourself. It takes a learning. It takes a kind of a commitment actually to understand a lot of the principles. And there's a lot of principles that go along with it. It's not just about hypergamy and about, beta this or alpha that or whatever. There's a lot more to it. That's why when people dismiss it to people who already know about it, it seems like, yeah, fuck you. You just don't know anything about it because you haven't put yourself into it. You haven't dedicated enough of your time or your effort into understanding what it is that we're talking about. But you want that. You really, and I get it, man. I've especially when I first started doing this kind of stuff, I really wanted to help people. And I've been burned so many times because I told the wrong thing to the wrong guy. Right, who wasn't ready to hear that and was ready to like fight me. I mean, literally, they want to fight you. And it's like that part in the Matrix where Morpheus is talking to Neo and says, look around you, see all these people around you. Most of these people are not ready to be unplugged from the Matrix. They're the same people that we would like to unplug and we would like to help, but they are so inured and so dependent upon that system for their own existence that they will fight you to stay in that system. And so I think it's important that guys, when they first get in this or when first get unplugged, that's why we compare this to the Matrix, because that's what it is. It's like cutting yourself away from your old way of thinking about things. And you want to help people out, but they're not ready to be helped. In fact, they'll punch you in the face for trying to help them out or trying to change their minds about something that they're deeply ego invested in.
All right. Well, with that being said, it's time to wind down episode number 52. On our panel today, Donovan Sharp. My bottom left, I'm not sure if you guys see it on your screen that way, but Donovan Sharp from The Sharp Reality, John from Modern Life Dating, Ryan Stone, ryanstone.com, and Rollo Tomasi from The Rational Mail, and yours truly from Entrepreneurs of Cars. Again, the channel is sponsored by the Tactical Soap Company. Jordan Peterson tells you to clean your room, sit up straight, and wash your Johnson. Might as well use Tactical Soap. Check out with coupon code RMG and get 10% off. When you do, a purple-haired feminist will cry. There's also a link for the channel on Patreon, guys. We love the support and the super chats and everything. Hope you continue to do that, and we look forward to actually next Thursday night, kind of an update on what's coming up next Thursday. We have the Patriarchs broadcast. We're doing every other Thursday. Elliot Holst will be joining us for that one. We'll be talking about fatherhood stuff, Red Pill Lens, kind of tying that all in. And, regular episodes, of course, on Saturday. I have a Before the Train Wreck coming up on Monday night. We're back on because I was away for a bit with Dr. Sean T. Smith. So if you're wanting to vet something, it's a call-in show. We'll do that Monday night at 8 p.m.
And
anybody have any shows coming up?
Yeah, I do. Tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern, I'll be on with Pat Campbell. I'm also debating on whether or not I want to do Religion and the Red Pill. But if I do, look for that to be on like a Monday, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be good, man. You know what, man? You should actually do that on a Sunday. I know
that's
inconvenient, but
I kind of don't want to do 2 shows back to back, but hey, I did it yesterday, right? So actually I did 3 shows back to back yesterday.
Dude, I've been there. Yeah.
So maybe
one today.
Yeah, watch my Twitter feed if you want show times or announcements for the Red Pill and Religion.
Cool. Yeah, I just started a new show. Way more success than I thought I would ever have. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Interview with a Man on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Modern Life Dating, and then keep an eye out for my limited enrollment body language course that's coming out on February 28th. You don't want to miss that one.
Yes, sir. And of course, you guys can follow me. I'm not worried about Twitter or Facebook. You guys want to follow me there, that's fine. I don't really post much there anymore. But you guys can watch my show Monday through Thursday afternoons at 5 Eastern. I have occasional guests on. This week, I think I've got Ryan coming on Tuesday. Are we still good with that? Or
was it Tuesday or Thursday? Whichever one, we're still good.
Okay, cool. So I've got Ryan coming on Tuesday. I've got Kevin Samuels coming on Wednesday. I've got Steve the Dean coming on Thursday. And so it's an exciting week of shows coming up. And of course, right after this, right around 12:30, I'm going to have the Red Man Group after party. I know Jonathan's going to be there, Steve the Dean's going to be there, and any one of you guys who want to join in as well. So,
all right, gentlemen, see you next time.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Later.
Good show.
See ya.